Namaste and welcome to another edition of the Bharatvaarta podcast. I'm Roshan Karyappa. I have with me Abhishek Paul and Neerav Kanodra to run you through the news and events of the week that was, and it's been an eventful week. Hey Abhishek, hey Neerav, let's talk about the Karnataka election results. It was the news of last week. The Congress party won the 2023 Karnataka Assembly elections, defeating the incumbent Bharatiya Janata Party or the BJP. The Congress won 136 seats in the 224 member assembly, while BJP won 65 seats and the Janata Dal Secular won 19 seats. The Congress party's victory is seen as a major comeback after it was defeated in the 2018 elections. Abhishek, we did a couple of episodes on this. We did one analysis with Rohit and Prasanna. And then, of course, we had Tejasvi Surya, who's the MP from Bangalore South, on the podcast as well. Obviously, we thought it would be close, but it seems like it is very favorably in the Congress camp, right? So, what do you make of this?
We will need a lot of time for people to fully digest what happened. But I would say some of my initial thoughts are like this is probably the worst defeat that the BJP has faced under PM Modi since 2015 Delhi elections. I think I would say this is in that kind of a zone of underperformance by the BJP. Or let's put it this way, sort of surprise, right? Like they have obviously lost quite a few elections in the past, but delta between the expectation and the outcome would be this one was like very high, right? Because even those who were expecting that maybe the Congress would win, they expected BJP to get maybe 80, 90 or close to 100 seats and then a minor sort of narrow victory for the Congress. But this time, Congress sort of had a 7% vote share advantage, right? Which is quite impressive, right? So, one thing that's kind of being talked about is BJP actually did not lose any vote share versus 2018, right? So that time as well, it was about 36%. This time as well, it is 36%. But I think Hindustan Times has a very interesting sort of analysis where they found that BJP lost votes in the seats which where it had done very well last time, right? Where it had, let's say, 40 to 50% vote share or more than 50% vote share. That is the seats where it had done very well and won. Those are the seats where it has sort of seen attrition of votes. While it has picked up votes in seats where it used to have very little vote share, right? Where it was less than 5% vote share or less than 20% vote share. Those kind of seats is where it has picked up votes. But even after picking up, when you start from a very low base, it doesn't amount you to getting the seat. So net the BJP, despite having the sort of same sort of vote share, has ended up losing, I think, 40 odd seats, right, from last time. So yeah, I think I mean you have to give full credit to the Congress party, right, when it comes to managing to contain the local state level rift that might have been there between their two major leaders, right here, which are Siddaramaiah and DK Shiv Kumar. So they managed to work together in a sort of concerted fashion. They were able to build a narrative of the current BJP government, especially post the change of CM, right, midway through last term with CM Bomai. So even though he's sort of looked at as personally clean, right, his administration was tainted with the allegations of corruption charges, right? Whether they have the Pay CM campaign or the 40% commission sort of moniker, all those sort of allegations probably managed to create a dent. Then, of course, there was mismanagement of the economy or the administration in rural areas, right? Where, so if you see, BJP managed to sort of do well in urban centers like Bangalore or Mangalore, and of course had its good performance in coastal Karnataka, right? But in other places of the state, which are sort of, let's say, left out of the whole growth story of IT and services that is surrounding Bangalore, right? So the sort of lesser well-off places of the state is where Congress managed to do well, with their promises of whatever, like in terms of welfareism. So if you see the BJP and its welfareism, I think most of the branding sort of happens via the PM or the central government, right? And so if you are a voter, it always seems that whatever the BJP is doing via its central government schemes, and the state government takes a back seat, right? If it's a BJP government. And so you could say that a voter makes a choice that, the central schemes will anyway continue, right, with the BJP at the center, and then you can have more welfare schemes via the Congress at the state level. Because I don't think the BJP at least did not manage to project any signature welfare schemes via its state government, right, in the last few years. The entire sort of credit for anything good that the BJP does typically accrues to the central government, right? So that is a strength and a weakness. I mean, if you look at the vote share, it has been 36% twice, right, in 2018 and 2023. But in 2019, the BJP's vote share for the Lok Sabha election goes to 51%. And so it might be too early to sort of write off the BJP for the next election. Probably, I would say they are still and I'm talking about only Karnataka. I would say they are still favorites to gain majority of the seats next time as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can go back to such a high vote share or it kind of plateaus out in the mid 40s. But one thing is clear, I think, in number of elections that we have seen in the last 5 6 years is that there are many voters who vote for the BJP in the Lok Sabha, and then they sort of choose to vote for another party, be it the Congress or some regional party in the assembly elections, right? And so, the electorate is sort of discerning in their choice at different levels of government.
Yeah, very well summarized. I just have a couple of points to add. I think the Congress started this whole campaign maybe a year back, right? So props to them. They were able to bring two people who wouldn't see eye to eye earlier, right? DK Shivakumar and Sidramaya on the same platform and work for the party, right? I mean, it will be interesting to see how they will handle this going further now. Who becomes CM, and what the equation evolves to be, right? But somewhere I feel the BJP state leadership is in like a transition phase. Also, very important to understand, right? I mean, because they've had such a tall leader like V.S. Yediyurappa ji, right, who single-handedly perhaps built the party in the state, and you're going to have this transition problem, right? I mean, once he has moved on, so that along with losing the narrative perhaps on this 40% sarkara, that the allegations that the state administration is weak, rudderless, and that things were not happening, and so on and so forth, right? And just to add to what Abhishek says, this I don't think will reflect on the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Obviously, Karnataka votes very differently in the Lok Sabha elections, right? And there were 8 lakh people on the road for Prime Minister Modi, right? Considering that perhaps 50 lakh people in Bangalore voted or thereabouts, right? 8 lakhs is a significant number. You can't ignore that, at least, right? So the Prime Minister is immensely popular, and while it's not an indictment of any sorts on the 2024 elections, I don't think this is some sort of a foreboding fear. But I do feel that it's a time for reflection and introspection for the state union, right? And hopefully things